Okay, questions for Coach?
Just the difference in the halves, and what did you see?
Well, we turned it over too much in the first half. You know, we were quick shooting the ball. We got some good looks early, but they didn't go. Our defense was also way better. The press was incredibly effective, but our defense overall was better, which enabled us to get into our transition game a little bit more. But you got to take care of the ball. You know, what do we? 14 turnovers is still too many. Give credit to them; they played really hard and they're very physical and they switch everything. And so it took a little bit to get used to. But you know, we got to the free throw line 20 times. You got to, you know, when you're playing a team that's physical, you can't settle for contested jump shots. You got to drive the ball. You got to throw it ahead. You got to attack in transition. You got to post up, and that's what we did.
Fran, it seemed like Drew in that full court press really just frustrated what they were trying to do, just his effectiveness in his transition. It
was really the difference in the game. I mean, you know, obviously those other guys were right there with him. I thought that group, Josh, Price, Peyton, and whether it was Lodgy or O, they were really good and really active and really connected. So if you're going to extend your defense, you have to be connected, or else you're going to give up layups and open threes. That's why a lot of teams don't press. But those guys were really good at it, keeping it out of the middle, keeping it from going up the sideline, keeping anything from happening that would be too easy, that would lead to easy baskets. So really proud of them.
Fran, speaking of Drew, I know I asked about him on Friday. He kind of shut me up tonight. It just kind of looked like you got what you wanted out of him when you got him from the portal.
He's been playing like that lately. One of the things that happened to him when he got here, we played differently than they did at his previous location. So they were a set play team. He was always up top, calling for the ball, calling a set, run a set. Well, we don't play that way. We're going, and he's very capable. Like, it's not like he can't play that way. I would argue that he's better playing this way, and that's why we recruited him out of the portal in the first place. So I think he's getting more comfortable, and I think he's having fun. You can see that he's having fun, and he can impact the game at both ends. So I'm really proud of him.
Price played well, and how much of that is just experience?
Well, I think a couple things. He's way stronger than he was. I mean, he was a skinny guy last year, got pushed around a little bit. Nobody's pushing him around now. He was always a guy that could play both ends. Very underrated defensive player. Like, nobody ever mentioned that when he was in high school, that he was, you know, a guy that could guard basically 5 positions. And he did that tonight. He blocked a few shots. He's been doing that since he was a freshman in high school when I first saw him. Terrific shooter, shooting with great confidence. And a lot of times when you're a freshman, you're not playing as much. You miss 1 or 2, then you get a little gun shy, and then you don't know if you're going to get a chance to stay in there. He knows he's going to get a chance to stay in there. I want to keep going to him. And I probably should have gone back to him earlier at the end of the first half. I did put him back in, and he was good, but I probably should have put him about 2 minutes earlier.
What's the Sadhu status?
Yeah, he's got a bum wheel. We'll see where that ends up in the next couple of days. I mean, I'm optimistic for Thursday, but if we have to hold him, then I would be optimistic for Tuesday.
Fran, Peyton has rightfully a quick trigger, really smooth release, but his emergence and just his ability to progress as a playmaker and as a passer over the last couple of years, for a guy that has that quick of a trigger, it's been really impressive. What have you seen from him from a playmaking perspective?
Well, I thought last year his rebounding was really important to our team, especially if we're going to play him at the 4 spot, which we do. He's got to rebound. But he also had 7 assists tonight, so I think that's what you're talking about. And also, he's in the backcourt when they're pressing, making good decisions, not turning it over, throwing it ahead, hit middle, attack, throw it over the top. I mean, it's kind of what you would expect. He's a senior. He's one of the best players in our league, one of the best players in the country, and that's how he played tonight.
Peyton mentioned nervousness maybe being a factor in the first half. Could you get a sense of that at all?
I didn't expect that. He never really played like that, even when he was a freshman. I just think he really wants to lead this team, and I think he really wants to do well, and he puts a lot of pressure on himself. And then we struggled early. Nothing was falling, and we turned it over a few times. They got a couple second shot putbacks. It seemed like we couldn't get a loose ball. But he kept it together for everybody. I'm not surprised.
The turnovers, do you feel like where are you guys at a cohesiveness standpoint? Was that just a product of that?
Yeah, I mean, this is a connected group. They're not selfish at all. They'll move it, share it. And even the shots we missed, they weren't horrible shots. I thought they were too quick. We didn't make them play defense. We didn't go in and out, swing it, drive, kick, drive the closeout. I mean, that's how you have to play a team that's quick like they are, and also a team that switches, because you're going to have mismatches. So we tried a little too hard to force it in early, and then they send the world on Owen, and he's in there, they're chopping him and going after the ball, and he didn't react to that very well in the first half. He did in the second half. I'm proud of him.
Take a couple more.
Fran, I know Evan got in a little bit of foul trouble in the second half, but that first half, that tip out off the missed free throw to Peyton, seemed like that really kind of opened things up for Peyton just as far as shot making goes. But it seemed like Evan had a couple really big plays.
Evan's been playing really well. He played well in the exhibition. I thought he played well tonight. He had the mistake where he set the illegal screen, and he's got to understand when you're screening out front, right in front of everybody, you really have to be still. But, you give him credit. He's trying to get his teammate open. So I'm just really happy for him. I love that kid. Didn't play much last year, kept his mouth shut, just grinded in practice and tried to do what he could to help us win. And now he's earned an opportunity, and he's making the best of it.
How much have you had to work with Owen on, seeing doubles and, multiple bodies? Because you didn't see a ton last season, but I'm assuming you...
Oh, it's coming this year. I mean, we've worked with him on it. He's seen it in the scrimmage and the exhibition, and now when you're putting up those kind of numbers, they're coming after you. But that's one of the reasons why I really want him to extend his range and be more. You're not just going down on a block, we're going to throw it to you. That's what we did with Luka. Flash to the elbow, pop, pick and pop, shoot a three, bring it yourself. We set him up to rip and drive. He's got a great handle for a big guy. So with him, I just think the more he sees that, and the more confidence he'll get.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Brandon.